while it's still legal today. Although the show can be redacted. I hate to say that I predicted the future again on this show because I was not 100% correct. But I said the other day that they're about to release the Epstein files, so we'll be shooting missiles at Venezuela. It wasn't Venezuela, it was Syria. But we did shoot some missiles. So I was correct once again. I apologize for constantly predicting the future on this show. And of course, the Epstein files have been released, but they're not really released. Only some released, and heavily redacted. So redacted. There's almost nothing in them except for pictures of Bill Clinton. Ooh, surprise, surprise. It's like David Brooks. I don't know if you know who David Brooks is. The conservative columnist. He's been around for years and years. He wrote a column a week ago, or maybe two weeks ago at the most, about how the FC files are not that big of a deal, and the Democrats should let it go, and it's not really that big of a deal. And then come to find out, he's in it. Pictures of him chilling at the state. You're like, who wasn't involved in this? Really, is what you really need to know. Because this was going on through Democratic and Republican administrations, and no one did anything. The original complaint was in the 1990s. So this went on for over a decade after it was initially brought to the attention of the FBI. Hello, maybe. And who was president when Epstein got that sweetheart deal? George Bush. Who was the Attorney General of Florida when Epstein got that sweetheart deal? Pam Bondi. But that doesn't let Democrats off the hook because, like I said, this was going on for a long time, and no one did anything about it. That's the real question that needs to be answered: is why no one did that much about it. And the real answer is because there's rich and powerful people of all persuasions who are involved in this shit. Now, generally, I say that QAnon people, the conspiracy people, most of the right-wing conspiracy nuts, are fucking stupid because it's true. But in this instance, a lot of the things that they were saying is correct, only it's not just Democrat cabal of pedophiles. As you can see, it's people of all persuasions. It's rich and powerful people. It doesn't matter if they're Democrats or they're Republicans. And I've said before, and I'll say it again, it doesn't matter to me if there's Democrats or Republicans. If you're a Democrat and it can be proven that you were involved in this shit, you should go down and go to prison like anyone else. But the law that they passed, that they should file or release the Epstein files, said that the victim's name should be redacted, and that's it. Well, they went way beyond that. There's a picture of a bunch of guys in suits, and the guys in suits have their faces blacked out. Now, why is that? Why you reckon that is? And do you think that this is not an orchestrated cover-up to... They've had 6 months, at least, to work on these files. And they're still not done scrubbing whatever they're trying to scrub out of it because, obviously, it's a lot. Now, when they say, oh, the files are released, the Department of Justice says that it has 3,000 gigabytes of Epstein files. Today, it released 2.5 gigabytes. That's only 0.83%. And the files that they did release look like that, basically. There's the files. It's a bunch of pages with someone scribbled a Sharpie all over. There's your files. This whole thing is it's a ridiculous joke. We are so far gone down a road of depravity that it's almost hard to imagine that this is the country that we grew up in. It's unbelievable. Meanwhile, they shot another boat. They seized another vessel off the coast of Venezuela. They said they shot a bunch of missiles into Syria. They're doing everything they can to try to distract you from this situation while they keep scrubbing and scrubbing. There's a search feature, but it doesn't work. So if you want to look at the files, there's a search feature. You can just go in there and put in search, and this is what happens. No results found, Trump. Epstein, no results found. When they released these files, apparently a picture slipped out of a desk with a desk drawer open and had pictures of Trump inside the desk drawer, and it was available in the files that they released for half a day maybe, and people started to notice it, and it started to pop up on the news and online, and all of a sudden that file is gone. Just disappeared right out of the release that they released themselves. And you're telling me you're going to sit here and believe that this is not an orchestrated effort to hide what they were doing? And Trump's, I'm not saying he's involved in it, but if he wasn't involved in it, he's sure doing a lot of work to scrub any evidence that he was not involved in it. Let's say that. This guy was best friends with this guy for 15 years. You're going to tell me that he doesn't know? What's up, Ahmad? How are you? You're going to tell me that he didn't know what was going on? Or he didn't have kind of an idea what was going on? Or they didn't talk about all the young girls he's banging, Trump wasn't, trying to bang these young girls. I mean, really? People really just going to sit here and believe that? There's pictures of Bill Clinton in a swimming pool. Yeah, Bill Clinton. Like I said, if Bill Clinton was involved, he should go down. Everybody that was involved in this should go down. No one should be exempt. No one. Especially the President of fucking United States. That's what's funny. Remember when the Republicans, I said, convinced their dumb fuck followers that there was a cabal of secret cabal of pedophiles that controlled the government, and only if they elected them that they would clean it all up. And then they elected them, and what are they doing? They're scrubbing the shit out of them files. Why? Because it was them. It was them all along. And the dumb fuck followers Trump is too fucking stupid to realize that they voted for the pedophiles. That's why their brains are all scrambled up right now. I'm okay, man. I'm on. How are you? Um, this is America. This is what we've let our country become. And to distract from that, like I said, now we're bullying other countries going to start a war. I want to ask you something. Remember when Trump said he had destroyed ISIS? Then why do we have to shoot missiles at ISIS yesterday? If they're destroyed, then why do they have 18, 20 facilities that we need to fucking strike? Because they're so destroyed. It's like the point is they were never destroyed. Everything Trump says is complete bullshit at all times. You cannot believe anything coming out of this administration. It's turning into like North Korea levels of complete bullshit. And like I said before, they can cook the inflation number and all that shit all they want. It doesn't matter. The reality of the situation does not care about their bullshit. Inflation is going to just keep going up, no matter if they say it's not. The dollar is going to keep going down, whether or not they say. And like I said the other day, if he has $18 trillion sitting around from fucking tariffs, then why can't we have health care? Why can't he pay off the national debt? Like we looked up the number here the other day. It's $34 trillion national debt. If he has $18 trillion sitting around from tariffs, he could pay that national debt off, half of it, overnight, if he wanted to. I mean, if he had $18 trillion, he might do that. The point is, he doesn't have $18 trillion. He's lying. Like he's always lying. If he's talking, he's lying. I don't think the man's ever told the truth about anything ever. His whole life is a deluded fantasy, fueled by the internet and making it worse by his onsetting dementia or whatever the fuck is going on with him. He can't. And he just repeats himself over and over and over and falls asleep. And people are talking about Joe Biden. It's like, dude. And I'm not sitting here saying that Joe Biden, it was the greatest thing ever. No. I say we should not have presidents who are 80 fucking years old. That's too old, bro. They make regular people retire when they're 65. So why are people in Congress and the president allowed to be there? They're 80, 90 years old. What's up, Ahmad? What are you trying to say to me? They're too old. That's the fucking problem. For some reason, the system runs around like geriatric old white men. And any threat to that is communism. That's what they'll tell you. Again, I said Trump said that 1,000 times. I've destroyed ISIS, is destroyed. Well, then why'd they kill 2 service members and we have to shoot 20 of their fucking facilities? You know why? Because they're not destroyed. They're still out there. The truth is, the population of the United States is so stupid and fucking ignorant that they'll fucking believe these lies because they don't know any better. And that's an indictment of this entire country, top to bottom. I don't know how I survived through it with being able to. I guess because my parents. I was encouraged to read books from a young age. And I was encouraged by my father to think for myself and not buy into the propaganda that America is, the greatest, most free country in the world, because it isn't. It's a police state. It's always been a police state. See, all Trump did was unleash the real police state. There's always been there. He didn't have to tweak the system that much, did he? Where am I from? I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, my friend. How about yourself? Where are you watching from? I wish I could read that. When I was in Florida, I worked at a subway that was owned by some Arab people, and they tried to teach me how to speak a little bit. And I learned, a couple words here and there, and then my friend gave me a book that had all the Arab writing in it and shit, but I was just there, and I was like, oh man, it's true what they say about languages. If you want to learn a bunch of languages, you should start doing that when you're really young, when your brain suck it all in. As you get older, and you're looking at it, you're like, oh man, this is a lot to remember. Let's say a whole vocabulary. And that writing, it's very pretty. I'll give you that. But it's like you look at it, it's like, what the fuck? I can't read. What? You're Iranian? What you said? Terror? Yeah. Really? You live in Iran? This is what I think is funny about this situation in America is people think that a guy like Trump is good for them because it makes them feel strong, But the truth is, that you're really doing is creating more people who hate America and will do anything to destroy it. And, and they don't see that part of it, the causation of it. I see that. I'm not going to say it because of the YouTube algorithm, but I see what you're saying, Ahmed. That's interesting. Like I asked you, do you live in Iran? If so, what do you do? Like what is your agenda? Like what are you trying to accomplish with your occupation? I'm not saying I don't even. What is the old saying goes? One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. It all depends on what you're fighting for and who you're fighting against, I suppose. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for the way that we have treated your country. I will say that. Definitely not been very respectful. Going all the way back to overthrowing your government and installing the Shah and all that. And now it's the same thing. What did they do? They pushed Iran right into being a full-on Muslim, Islamic republic or whatever, because they don't see the folly of their own. It's much better to try to cooperate with people and come up with peaceful, compromising solutions to problems than it is to just say, well, we're going to go in there and invade your country and take over. Regime change like Venezuela. How many times have we gone through this regime change thing and now they want to do it in Venezuela? You think that's going to work? You think that the Venezuelans are going to just lay down and allow America to dictate to them what they should be doing? I don't believe that to be the case. I don't believe that's ever been the case. In any country we've ever tried this in. We tried it in Vietnam, didn't work, right? Tried it in Korea, didn't work, right? Tried it in Iraq, it didn't work. What happened? We created the Islamic State, who Trump destroyed, but yet they're still around. Hey, Laura, you made it. I hope you're not ignoring your kids to watch me. But that's the folly of American foreign policy. It always has been. Same as Latin America. Where do you think all these immigrants came from? right? We destroyed all the democratically elected governments in Central America so that United Fruit could grow bananas there, or whatever the fuck they were doing. And we bullied Panama to take that part of Panama so we could build a canal. You know, we we uh, we helped install dictators like Noriega, and then when he didn't do what we wanted to, we fucking uh, arrested him and put him in prison. And meanwhile, all these countries are fucked, and all these people live there, and they're like, I can't live in this country; it's fucked. We're gonna go to America. That's where all these immigrants came from. It's a direct result of, and now he's doing the same thing down there in Venezuela. It's gonna fucking ruin their country too. This is what I thought was interesting. Donald Trump said that we stole, or that Venezuela stole oil from us. But I mean, of course, the oil happens to be on their property. But somehow, it was stolen from us. Which tells you the level of delusion that these people are operating with. They truly believe this, I bet. Trump truly believes that that oil in Venezuela belongs to us somehow, even though it's on there. It's on their property. Trump's like a cattle baron from the old West who's just like can't stand that there's another guy with another ranch next to him. So what is he gonna do? He's just gonna absorb that ranch into his own, kill that guy if he has to, take their shit. That's what America is. Well, it's always been. While they tell you, oh, this is speaking of freedom, it's blah, blah, blah. Ahmed would be able to tell us firsthand. I said, we overthrew their government and then installed a puppet dictator, which created the Ayatollah Khomeini, who came back from France and took over the country. And the people all behind him. Why? Because America was interfering in their fucking internal business, and nobody wants that. No one. I'm sure you find a minority of people who would say yes, to something like that, but it's not the majority of people. What Maduro is just becoming more and more popular in Venezuela because Trump is going after him. What's going to happen is the Venezuelan people are going to coalesce around that dude. And sure, we can bomb them, and sure, we can send in troops, but then you got to hold the place. And it's been proven over time, you can't do it. You got to win the hearts and the minds of the people of the country if you want to actually do something inside of another country. They have to go along with what, they have to think that us getting involved in their business is good for them, and that nobody's ever going to fucking believe that. America's never done anything but fuck over everybody in the whole world almost. Now we're fucking over our own allies. America cannot be trusted. And like I said before, Trump's going to go away, but the damage that he's done is not going to go away. Nobody's going to trust us for a long fucking time. Because how do you know this won't happen again? Because you're going to have the J.D. Vances and those people running around. The Turning Point USA, they got a big thing going on right now called America Fest. It's a Turning Point USA. Apparently it's a gathering that's been going on for several years. I was reading this guy who used to be a Christian nationalist evangelical pastor, but he left the movement because he saw how destructive it had become. But he's like an insider. And he's like, I've been there for 3 fucking years. And he's like, you sit around and these people are Nazis. They talk about Hitler and they talk about, they're Nazis, just like I told you a decade ago. And everybody said I was crazy. Well, I'll prove to you that I'm not. This is the Department of Homeland Security page. This is the U.S. government. This is what they posted. All America wants for Christmas is remigration. What's remigration, you might ask? Well, remigration is a European far-right concept of ethnic cleansing via the mass deportation of non-white minority populations, especially immigrants, sometimes including those born in Europe and holding European citizenship, to their place of racial ancestry. Originating in Europe, the concept has spread to the United States and other countries. It is popular, especially within the identitarian movement. Some proponents of remigration suggest excluding some persons with non-European background from such a mass deportation based on a very defined degree of assimilation and European culture. They're fucking Nazis, bro. That is Nazi shit. Period. Like I told you, the far right has become a worldwide movement. Where the ADF or whatever it is in Germany was suggesting at the mega thing the other day. I told you that, oh, we should join together. They're already fucking joined together. J.D. Vance spoke at their fucking rally in Germany. I told you before, Italy kicked Steve Bannon out of Europe, or out of Italy, because he had tried to buy this old castle and set up this Nazi fucking training camp where he could train Gestapo youth. And they kicked him out of the country. These people are hardcore, racist fucking Nazis. And you've given them the keys to the kingdom. So I was talking to my friend the other night. He was like, I've assembled all this stuff. I have all this stuff that you might need, like if shit goes down. I bought some guns. I bought some, I bought a sword. I bought some stuff to make a bag. So if I had to survive, I can make fire and all the things that I have to do. And do I want to do that? No. I was telling him, I'd rather have that stuff and not need it than need that stuff and not fucking have it. And you're going to sit here and tell me that you think that this country that couldn't happen? It only takes a second for a civil war to pop off. And once it does, it's chaos, total chaos. And you'll be living in it. I'm not a doomsayer and naysayer, whatever you want to call it. But I would suggest considering being prepared for the worst that could possibly happen. Because these people are not going to give up the power you've given them lightly. The same as this Epstein thing, right? They scrub all these files. The files are still there. They can be unscrubbed. Next person that comes into power, Democrat, could unscrub those files and release them. And everything that they're hiding will be revealed. You don't think that they don't know that? Like, we're on a dangerous precipice in this country. I don't think that people take the gravity of the situation as seriously as they should. Like I said, Trump and the Trump administration are going to keep trying to tell you that everything is great and inflation is going down, but it's not going down. They're full of shit. The report that they released only had partial information. The information that was good for them. They left out the rest. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's still there. And the inflation, like I said, it's not going to stop going up just because Donald Trump says it's not going up. What's going to happen is he's going to keep telling you that everything's great while you're paying $10, a box for fucking Frosted Flakes or whatever you're buying. He's going to, everything's great. The 1776 checks that they said they were going to give to the military. Right? Remember he said, oh, it's from tariff money. It's not tariff money. It's from a program that was already uh, budgeted by Congress for housing for the military. So what he did was he just took the money that was already going to the military, renamed it, and then took credit for giving it to them. Because the bottom line is, there ain't no fucking tariff money. Every time he mentions the tariff money, it's ridiculous bullshit. It doesn't exist. I mean, he's bringing in money from somewhere, but who knows where it's going or what's, or, you know, no one knows. It certainly isn't cutting down the debt or the deficit, is it? You want to cut inflation? Like I said, you throw $10 trillion on that national debt, inflation will go down overnight. Some of it. But that's not what's going to happen because they don't have the fucking money. It's a ridiculous myth. Like everything Trumpism. It's a myth. There's not one thing that is. Everything they say is their whole entire philosophy, really, can be punched like Swiss cheese holes right in it because it's not real. You know, immigrants are not responsible for all the crime. There aren't 11 million immigrants that came into the country. It was only like 6 million. Right? Trans people aren't playing sports everywhere you look. 12-year-olds aren't getting transgender surgery. You know, that. Not without, you know, their parents. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. Did they get their? I don't believe it is. Why would you have transgender surgery before you even had like physical puberty and all that? It doesn't even seem like scientifically like a good idea. You have to go, hey, you gotta develop first, and then we'll do whatever you want to do. You know, like physically. You can't just physically start changing 12-year-olds. You know. The truth is, it doesn't. Like I said, they might get what do you call it, hormonal therapy and all that kind of stuff. They're not getting full-on sex change surgeries. It's a myth. Immigrants aren't eating your cats and dogs. It's a myth. It's ridiculous bullshit. Immigrants aren't taking all the welfare, but also buying all the, or taking all the jobs as well, and buying up all the houses. Some of the things that they say, it's like they're patently so fucking stupid that the fact that anyone would let them say these things. It's like, it's not real. They live in a deluded fantasy of their own creation, where they're the heroes of everything, and everybody else is evil. We're a communist. Meanwhile, they're doing the most evil shit possible. Right? Other people are evil, but yet these mass thugs are dragging people off to camps and shipping them out to black hole prisons in the third world countries and, and blowing up innocent people off the coast of whatever. Now here's the thing about the drug boats. It's the same as anything else. The same as Epstein files as pedophiles, right? If these guys are really narco-terrorists, what they call them, and they're so dangerous, and they're running these drugs, you know, well then, why can't they show us that that's what they are? And if that's what they are, maybe I would be like, hey, you know, maybe it's still wrong to extrajudicially kill anyone. But if they could demonstrably show, oh, each one of these boats that we destroyed had a bunch of drugs in them, and these people who were running these drugs were vicious criminals. You might even get me to go, well, you know, maybe it's not that big a thing, but they don't do that, do they? They haven't proven one thing. You just got to take their word for it. They're the most dishonest people on the fucking earth. You gotta take their word for it. Here is what's wrong with the whole situation, right? Everybody sees them doing this and they think, oh, it feels good, right? It feels good. It feels powerful. It feels like we're doing something about drugs or whatever, whatever it is. Let's take the drug vote thing as an example, okay? Let's say that you agree that the president should be able to blow up these people on the boat. But here's the problem when you extrapolate it outward. When you give the president of the United States the power to unilaterally declare somebody something that he doesn't like, and you give him the authority to just kill those people, well, who's to say it stops there? Once you give someone power like that, hard to take it back. And what's to say he doesn't turn on other people that he doesn't like and start declaring them whatever he wants and start killing them? And then you go, well, you allowed him to do that, so this must be legal too, and before you know it, everything's legal. This is the part that the stupid people don't get. It's that the system, the American system, constitutional republic system, was set up so that you have rights as an individual, and you are protected by from the power of the big government. Now, that doesn't always, people still get eaten up and ran over by the government, but people can fight back, and they win sometimes. Right? Well, if you just declare the president to be all powerful, that he can just start killing anyone that he designates an enemy of the state somehow, without evidence or courts or laws or anything. Who's to say he doesn't turn that power onto you? You think these nutlickers in Congress are going to stop him? They're going to protect you? I don't think so. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when they get smashed in the midterm elections next year and Democrats take over the Congress. Because now you're going to have a situation where the Republic of the United States is going to be in real trouble. Because you got to remember, a lot of those nutlickers are still going to be there. It's going to be a huge portion of the Congress who's still going to be under the fealty of Trump, and they will do anything that possible to neuter the Congress as a body. They can do anything to stop him or oversight. Or Massey and Ro Khanna are talking about trying to impeach Pam Bondi over this Epstein file release because she did not comply with the law. The law said they had to release all the files on Friday, yesterday. Instead, they released less than 1%, most of which was already public at one time or another. No new information, and all the new information that could be available, heavily redacted. Including, like I said, the faces of men in suits. Why are the faces of the men in suits being redacted? They're not victims. I saw there was a picture of David Copperfield with Ghislaine Maxwell, and somebody posted on my commented on my Facebook, said, well, there's a difference between being his best friend for 15 years in one photo, and that's true. But I lived in Las Vegas for several years, and if you haven't heard all the rumors about David Copperfield, what a fucking perv he is, and how many women he's had to pay off for sexual, maybe not assault, but like, sexual harassment or sexual, he's a fucking pervert. But he makes so much money for MGM Grand or whatever that like everything else, if there's enough money involved, people will look the other way. Now, no one in Vegas ever said that he was going to, try to get after little girls, but he is a pervert, a sexual harasser. serial, what they call, he's a serial line stepper. That's like, he's probably grabbed by the pussy guy like Trump. You know, he's famous. He's like, oh, I'm famous, I'm a star. Hey, how you doing, baby? Grab the pussy, you know. It's like, apparently it's a greeting amongst misogynistic, wealthy folks. For a man to just grab a woman, hey, how you doing? You know who I am? Doop. That's like, the truth is, like I said before a bunch of times on this show, this stuff happens way more than anyone ever lets you know or tells you. You know, this happens in schools, it happens in churches, it happens in wealthy people's islands. It happens in the White House. Remember, Bill Clinton was getting blowjob right at the White House. It's a power dynamic. You know, and Monica Lewinsky wasn't 17, but she wasn't 30. She's like early 20s. She's in the White House. She's starry-eyed. President's like, hey, won't you blow me? Somehow or another, somebody found out about it. And when they came after her, she was like, what? Yeah, I blew him. Remember, he was like, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. That's when I learned that getting a blowjob wasn't sexual relations. It's like that. Seems pretty sexual to me, but okay. Whatever you say, Bubba. That's what I mean about Clinton. People keep bringing up Bill Clinton. It's like, yeah, okay. I mean, everyone knows Bill Clinton's a perv. If you can prove that he was involved in this Epstein shit, I'm all for it. I'm not going to parse and mince like Megyn Kelly and be like, well, the girl was 15. She's not like she's 8. It's like if he was banging a 15-year-old girl, he's a piece of shit. You know, personally, I think if you're 60 years old and you're banging a 19-year-old girl, like, sure, she's legal, but it's still fucking creepy. You know, why are you banging a 19-year-old girl? I mean, I know why, but she's hot, probably. But it's like, what the fuck are you going to talk about with a 19-year-old girl? Because I got news for you. You can't fuck 24 hours a day. Sooner or later, you got to talk to somebody. She starts talking to you about K-pop or some shit, and you're like 60 years old. What a big Swiftie she is. It's like, it doesn't seem like it'd be much fun to me. It's like, can you blow me again and stop talking? That's why I never understood the Islamic thing. Like, if you blow yourself, Ahmed, like, if you blow yourself up for Allah, you get 72 virgins in heaven. Like, that's just what you need. 72 girls tell you no forever. Or give you toothy blowjobs that aren't any good. Yeah, that's what I want forever. That sounds like hell. It's like, how about trade all 72 virgins in for one good whore that knows what she's doing? Forever. Because that's it. That 72 virgin thing doesn't sound too appealing. It's like Christmas music. I was listening to the Christmas music this morning. It's also like, you know, it's supposed to be so beautiful. You know, it's like, joy to the world. You know, the Lord has come. And like, let's adore Him and all this stuff. And then you're like, you listen to these songs. You're like, yeah, man. You know, this story takes a dark turn. Jesus went from like, come adore him, he's the king of the world, and then until that, nail him up. Wait a minute, you said you loved him. No, we gotta kill him now. It's what God wants. Like everything in human history, it doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it logically. I mean, what happened in between the time that everybody was running to adore him in that manger to the time they're nailing him up on that fucking cross? After they beat the shit out of him for an entire day. It's like, this is what God wants. Somehow this is going to absolve you of your sins. I don't know how that works. Now all you gotta do is accept that that's who he was. And God will forgive you for everything. What? Yes, God, he sent his son down here to be killed mercilessly, beaten savagely, and hung on a cross to die. And all you gotta do is accept that was God's plan. And he lets you into, like, what? It doesn't make any sense. But millions of people believe this. To the point that they beat themselves. You ever see those people? They'll be around. It's Easter when that happens. They march down the street and they beat themselves, like simulating what happened to Jesus. Somehow this is going to get them into heaven. This seems like some weird sadomasochistic ritual to me. It's twisted up. It's fucked up. It's a death cult. It's like, I grew up in the church, and I was always like, this is the most fucked up story I've ever heard. It's like fairy tales they tell children. They're all fucked up too. Right? You ever read like the Grimm's fairy tales and shit? They're all fucked up. Do you read these stories to children? I don't know what stepmothers were doing in Europe, but Jesus Christ, they're always the villain. They're always trying to kill the kids or something. It's like, they did not like stepmothers. Like, what happened? Oh, my wife, she died of the plague, so I had to marry this other woman, and she's the stepmother now, but she was to kill the children. It's like, you're reading these stories to children. That's what I mean. It's like, the human sickness is in all these myths, all these religions, and they just beat it into children from the time they're fucking born. So that's all they believe. And of course, they're the only ones that are right. And the truth is, all that stuff is outdated, outmoded. It's holding us back from achieving the greatness that humanity could achieve if we unshackled ourselves from all these medieval fucking beliefs. Instead, we just hold on to these systems that don't work, like capitalism itself. Capitalism is at the end game of capitalism, where there's like 20 guys with all the money. America's become like a caste system, like in India or something. You know, like if you're born poor in America now, there's almost no way out, except for bootlicking and nut licking like J.D. Vance. How'd J.D. Vance get out? He sucked himself up to Peter Thiel's nutsack. That's how he got out. He looks like a successful dude, but he's not. He's just a fucking puppet who's fully sponsored by these people. And now they're pushing him. they said, Eric and Cook said, we're going to make J.D. Vance the next president. No, we're not. We are not doing that. And if we do that, by then I think I'll be free enough that I can get the fuck out of here, because if that's what happens, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't believe that's going to happen, because I said they're going to lose big time next year. Once the Congress becomes democratic again, they're now, like I said, we're going to have a real constitutional showdown. What's funny is about it, which is true, is Congress really has no power. They don't really have much enforcement power, right? To do, they can pass laws, but like Trump just violated the law that they passed. No one's going to do anything about it. And the only thing that's kept the republic together is that everybody honored these rules. Well, you think Trump's going to honor these rules? He's not. He's going to ignore the Congress and do whatever he wants. And what are they going to do? They don't have an enforcement arm. And that's what they're going to say, because J.D. Vance said that himself, a couple years ago. He's about the Supreme Court. He said, well, just defy the Supreme Court and see what happens. See what they do. They believe all power resides in the executive branch, and it really does. He's got control of all the police forces, all the FBI, CIA, the military itself. What does Congress do? They pass laws, but if they just ignore the laws that they pass, then what's the fucking point? This is when, like I said, this is going to be the dangerous part. Right now, it's Trump and all the nutlickers. Why do you think he's yelling at you on the TV? He knows. We're headed to a bad place. He's driving the car. Like I said, I'm not a doomsayer or naysayer, but I will suggest that you think about what I'm saying, listen, and prepare yourself for all possibilities. Because once he starts to ignore the Congress, the country's over. It's done. It's dictatorship. Did you vote for that? Well, you kind of did. You knew what kind of person you were elected. The question would be, like, say he's 80 years old and he's not in good health, no matter what he's telling you. His hands are all bruised up, his cankles are all swollen, and he's not. And you could tell by the way he talks, his brain ain't as sharp as it once was. I mean, if it was ever sharp to begin with. Trump was always one of the dumber fucking people that were around. But when he dies, if that was to occur, and then Trump dies, then what happens? J.D. Vance just takes over, like, by proxy? Or Don Jr. steps into... President Cokie McTrump, everyone. Again, people are going to say, you're crazy for saying this stuff. You really believe that this could happen, that the country is on the verge of complete collapse and destruction? And I say, yes. Yes. And I feel very confident in my predictions, because I'd say at least, I'll be generous, I'll say 85% of all the things I've said in the last decade have come to pass. I think it's more than that, but I would give myself, let's say, I was around 15% of the time, right 85% of the time. I was just right, like I told you. I said the other day that the Epstein files about to be released. We're about to shoot missiles at Venezuela. I was wrong about shooting missiles at Venezuela, but we did shoot missiles at Syria. So I was correct again. Like, oh, I got the country wrong. But we all knew what he's going to do. Or I did. He's going to do anything he can to distract people from this. It's pretty fucking... What they say in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, we're in a bad spot. We're in a tight spot. It's like, this is a tight spot that we are in. I was looking for something, but now I don't remember what it was. Oh, the date of the fucking show. Are you still watching, Laura? What's the date of that show? I forgot. January 24th? Yes. January 24th, I will be in Batesville, Indiana, at a place called Shift Bar and Grill. Me, Jay Armstrong, and Tony Cordenbrock, my friends. We'll be doing a stand-up comedy show because I'm getting back on the horse. I did a show a couple weeks ago. Now I'm going to do one. I'm probably going to do another one in January, and then I got one in February. So, that's it. Get back out there. So if you're in Indiana or in the Indiana area, I said I will be at Batesville January 24th. It's the Saturday night. And if you want to do something for me, it's when I come back on Tuesday, it'll be my birthday. If you want to do something for me for my birthday or for Christmas, do this, please. Look up my album. It's called Cancel Culture. It's on iTunes, on YouTube Music. It's on all the stream services. Please listen to it. That's it. Don't cost you nothing. It's free. Get some numbers for the end of the year. I promise you it's funny. You'll like it. It's my gift to you. I will be back on Tuesday, 6 o'clock. If you just tuned into this show, I thank you for watching. Ahmed, people like that. If you just found me, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Like the thing, helps me in the algorithm. Subscribe so that you can turn on your notifications, and you'll be notified when I go live 3 times a week. I go live Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Unless, of course, life events get in the way and prevent me from doing a show. But I'm pretty faithfully here 3 times a week. You can email me at bruceleonardleansleft@outlook.com. That's bruceleonardleansleft@outlook.com. I'm going to get out of here. It's my day off tomorrow, so I don't have to go to bed at fucking 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to go watch a football game. So, go out, enjoy your weekend, like I said before. You still have to live your life. You still got to enjoy yourself. Don't get all wrapped up in this. I'm just here to tell you what's going on. And I am Bruce Leonard. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll be back Tuesday at 6 p.m. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Good night.